Good morning, afternoon, and night. My name is Lauren Johnson. That's L-A-N-U-E-R. And welcome to Hidden Killers, your new favorite true crime podcast. Now, you may be wondering if you can actually trust what I'm saying here. And you can, because I'm a professional in this field. This may be my first time making a professional podcast. I have multiple degrees in psychology and criminology, and I know exactly what I'm doing here. I started this podcast ultimately because nobody else on this scene knows their shit. I mean, it's incredibly important to understand the minds of these deranged individuals, and I'm the perfect person to tell you what to think. And you know who else are deranged individuals? Scammers trying to get your information. That's why this episode is sponsored by my favorite VPN, Spotline. VPNs are a special service that are made to protect your information from sites that want to sell it to shady people. And it can do much more than that, such as allow you to access shows or movies that are restricted in your area. Now, back to the topic at hand. Over this podcast, we'll be covering the stories of thrilling yet still unknown serial killers across the Midwest of the United States, including the thrilling story of Kate Marie Stevenson. Stevenson was 29 when she was discovered to be the person behind the murders in her Ohioan hometown, and she was 29 when she committed suicide in her own home on October 10th of 2014. She murdered a grand total of 19 people during her college career, and one while she was still in high school. The real question is, what really happened behind the scenes? And what drove her to commit such vicious acts? I plan to answer this question as I further investigate the woman behind the carefully made masks she's put on throughout her life. Both of Stevenson's parents were doctors, and she eventually went into the medical field as well. Although it's clear her intentions were anything but pure, and it really is a blessing in disguise that she never became a full doctor before she died. The majority of her kills were made with equipment that was made available to her as a student, with the glaring exception of her first kill. In fact, that one seems to be the one to stand out the most. Kate Stevenson seemed to fly mostly under the radar in her high school, and she had a nearly perfect record when it came to behavior. Morgan Green was the same kind of student up until she was found dead in October of 2002 by Stevenson. The cause of death was simple, blunt force trauma, but the investigators on the scene never found the murder weapon. It had been removed from the scene of the crime quickly after it had happened. Witness accounts state that many people had seen Stevenson and Green together right before the act had occurred, but she was never charged with any crime. Stevenson's murders from this point onward were never once done with blunt force, and almost always her victims were found with severe chemical burns, torn limbs, or both. But that's all for today. Make sure to tune in to the next episode featuring a special guest that can definitely give us more information on what Stevenson was like in her early years and what could have possibly made her choose this path.